हेलो फ्रेंड्स, स्वागत है आपका आज की एक और नई वीडियो में। तो आज की इस वीडियो में हम कवर करने वाले हैं एंड इंग्लिश कावेरी क्लास 9 टेक्स्ट बुक चैप्टर नंबर 1 हाउ आई टॉट माय ग्रैंडमदर टू रीड। और उसका हम आज कवर करेंगे पार्ट 2। तो पार्ट 2 कवर करने के लिए हम क्या करेंगे, अभी हम इसे रीड करेंगे और उसके साथ हमारे जो चेक योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग है उसे समझेंगे। सो लेट अस स्टार्ट विद दिस वीडियो। तो सबसे पहले हम रीड करना स्टार्ट करते हैं। I could not understand why my 62-year-old grandmother was telling me a 12-year-old the story of her life in the middle of the night. But I knew I loved her immensely and there to be some reason why she was talking to me. I looked at her face. I was unhappy and her eyes were filled with tears. She was a good-looking lady who was usually always smiling. Even today, I cannot forget the worried expression on her face. I leaned forward, held her hand. Avva, don't cry. What's the matter? Can I help you in any way? Yes, I need your help. So basically, this paragraph is describing the thoughts of the daughter, the 12-year-old daughter, which is saying that her 62-year-old grandmother was saying a story of her life and to a 12-year-old girl in the middle of the night. She loved her immensely, so she thought that there had to be some reason why she was talking to her. She looked at her face. She was, and the grandmother was unhappy, and her eyes were filled with tears. Then the grandmother is getting described as a good looking lady who was always smiling. Even today, the writer cannot forget the worried expression over her grandmother's face. The narrator leaned forward and held her hand and said, Avva, don't cry. Avva meaning grandmother in North Karnataka. What's the matter? Can I help you in any way? Meaning she is asking if she can do something to help her so that she doesn't cry. So let us read on to the next. Yes, I need your help. You know, when you were away, Karambira came as usual. I opened the magazine. I saw the picture that accompanies the stories of Kashi Yatre and I could not understand anything that was written. Many times I rubbed my hands over the pages, wishing they could understand what was written. But I knew it was not possible. If only I was educated enough, I waited eagerly for you to return. I felt you would come early and read for me. I even thought of going to the village and asking you to read for me. I could have asked somebody in this village, but I was too embarrassed to do so. I felt very dependent and helpless. We were off, but what use of we were well off, but what use of money when I cannot be independent? So let us understand this paragraph too. So this is basically the thoughts of the grandmother, and she's saying that when the narrator had gone to and the marriage and the Karambira, that was the magazine for Kashi Yatre, came as usual. She saw the pictures that accompanied it, and she could not understand anything that was written. She rubbed the hands of the pages, wishing they could be understood, but she knew it was not possible. If only she was educated enough, she could understand that, and she waited eagerly for the girl to return so that she could read the magazine to her. Then she even thought of going to the village and ask her for reading, but she could not because she felt very embarrassed. Also, she could have asked somebody in the village itself, but and she was also embarrassed to do so as she was feeling very dependent and helpless. And they were well off, meaning they were very wealthy. But what use of money is there when she cannot be independent? So let us read next. I don't know what to answer. Ava continued, meaning the narrator is saying that I don't know what should I answer, but she continued. I have decided I want to learn the Kannada alphabet from tomorrow onwards. I will work very hard. I will keep Saraswati Puja during and the Shara as the deadline. That day I should be able to read the novel on my own. I want to be independent. Then the grandmother expressed her thoughts that she wanted to be independent and thus she wants to learn the Kannada alphabet. She will work very hard. She will keep Saraswati Puja as her deadline, and at that time she should be able to read the novel on her own. She wanted to be independent. I saw the determination on her face, yet I laughed at her childishly, and the narrator laughed at her despite seeing the determination on her face. Abba, at the age of 62, you want to learn the alphabet? All your hair is grey, your hands are wrinkled, you wear spectacles, and you work so much in the kitchen. Meaning the narrator is describing the grandmother and saying that she has been very old and she cannot read the alphabets now because she's in the age of 62. Her hairs are grey and her hands are wrinkled. She wears spectacles. There is so much work for her in the kitchen. But childishly, I made fun of the old lady, but she just smiled. She just smiled. She didn't say something. Then she said, "For a good cause, if you are determined, you can overcome any obstacle. I will work harder than anybody, but I will do it. For learning, there is no age bar." The grandmother is expressing her thought that if we are having a good cause and we are determined, we can overcome any obstacle. She will work harder than anybody and she will do it. For learning, there is no age bar, as she says. Then only little bit of chapter is left. Let us complete this too. The next day onwards, I started my tuition. Ava was a wonderful student. The amount of homework she did was amazing. She would read, repeat, write, recite. I was her only teacher and she was my first student. Little did I know that one day I would become a teacher in computer science and teach hundreds of students. Then the next day, the narrator is saying that the next day her tuition started for the grandmother and she was a very wonderful student. The amount of homework she did was amazing because she did a lot of homework. She would read, repeat, write, and recite to overcome the obstacles of her age. Then the narrator is saying that she was her only teacher and the grandmother was her first student. The narrator didn't know that one day and the narrator would become a teacher in computer science and teach hundreds. The Dashera Camp festival is usual. Secretly, I bought Kashi Yatre, which has been published as novel by that time. My grandmother called me to the puja place and made me sit down on a stool. She gave me a gift of frock material. Then she did something unusual. She bent down and touched my feet. I was surprised and taken aback. Elders never touch the feet of youngsters. We have always touched the feet of God, elders, and teachers. We consider that as a mark of respect. It is a great tradition, but today the reverse had happened. It was not correct. According to the narrator, she is saying that the Sheda festival came as usual. Secretly, she bought that Kashi Yatre, which has been published as novel by that time. Then her grandmother called her, and she went. And where did she call her? To the puja palace. She made her sit down on the stool and gave a gift of frock material. Then she did something unusual. She touched the feet of the narrator she was surprised and taken aback, meaning she was surprised by something unexpected. They have elders never touched the feet of youngsters. The narrator is saying that they have always touched the feet of God, elders, and teachers, but today the reverse had happened. According to the narrator, it was not correct. She said, I am touching the feet of a teacher, not my granddaughter. A teacher who taught me so well with so much of affection that I can read my novel confidently in such a short period. Now I am independent. It's my duty to respect a teacher. Is it not written in our scriptures that a teacher should be respected irrespective of the gender and age? I did return her namaskar by touching her feet and gave my feet gift to my first student. She opened it and read immediately the title Kashi Yatre by Triveni and the publisher's name. I knew then and that my student has passed with flying colors. So this is basically written by Sudha Murty, and she's saying at the last that the grandmother said that she touched the feet of a teacher who taught her with such affection that she could read the novel confidently in such a short period. Now she is independent, and it's her duty to respect the teacher. It's written in our scriptures that teachers should be respected irrespective of the gender and age. Then the narrator and returned her namaskar and by touching her feet. She gave her the gift of the Kashi Yatre novel, and the grandmother read Kashi Yatre by Triveni and the publisher's name. And the narrator knew that and the student had passed with flying colors, meaning she had passed very well with an exceptional thing. So that's all for today, friends. Thank you for watching my video. In the next video, we will be covering this um, critical reflection. So let us now cover this. Check your understanding. So firstly, we are said to be doing true or false. The grandmother wanted to learn the Kannada alphabet to gain independence. This is true. The grandmother asked someone in the village to read Kashi Yatre to her while the narrator was away. It is false because she felt very embarrassed. The narrator was the grandmother's first teacher and taught her how to read Kannada. This is true. Then the grandmother believed that there was no age limit for learning. This is true. The grandmother touched the narrator's feet as a mark of respect for her as a teacher. The narrator was disappointed with the progress her grandmother made in learning to read. This is false. So these are the answer keys for the check your understanding, page number 9. So that's all for today, friends. Thank you for watching my video, and please like and subscribe my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you can get the video notification for this critical reflection too. Thank you.